Hey there. Thank you for tuning in for this week's Big Beer Friday episode. And today we are in Brooklyn, New York at Three's Brewing Company. And I am joined by Darwin. You might recognize his face if you watch a lot of beer reviews on YouTube. He is a very popular YouTube beer reviewer. Check out his page at Darwin's Beer Reviews. But he's in the area and we decided to meet up at a really cool brewery. This is my first time here, so I'm really excited to try some of these beers for the first time. And we're going to go ahead and put them through the Fizzics systems. We have the weight tap here and the larger original Fizzics system here. So that'll take our growlers, and then we've got some cans. So what do you think we should start out with, Darwin?
Let's start off with the IPA. So, yeah.
So you've had this one before. Tell us a little bit about if there's any story or what we can expect from something like this.
The IPAs that come out of Threes are really nice and soft. I just really like, they're kind of like leading on some tropical notes, but not really that boisterously fruity. They're just really refreshing, crushable kind of IPAs, but really soft on the palate. So
great. Speaking my language. I like soft and crushable. We got a beautiful day here. It's a nice breeze, but it's very warm. It's probably in the 80s, so we're enjoying it out here in the little backyard beer garden area. I'm going to tap you off with some microfoam here.
Cool. Nice. So why don't you tell us more about the product while
definitely. I'll zoom in on this pour here while I explain. So,
awesome.
Essentially, gives you a draft quality pour, topped off with a head of micro foam, as we call it, and we achieve that using sound wave technology. And essentially, the idea is to give you a cheers from vacation in New England. Cheers, Tom. I hope you're drinking some good IPAs up there. And you know they got a lot of them. So essentially what we have here is a really dense head of foam, longer head retention, since it's a smaller bubble, increased surface area is going to release more of those. In this case, hop oils, the essential oils that are very volatile. So that's all trapped in the foam. So get our nose in there, definitely smell some of that like citrus and stone fruit.
Yeah, for sure.
The tropical, like mango, papaya, all that good stuff. Definitely see what you mean with that.
Yeah, a little bit of this kind of candied, tropical kind of flavor.
Yeah, candied, right
it
on.
really does smell like candy. So
what's the ABV on here?
Let me check. Actually, they don't post the ABV. Interesting.
Rebels.
Yeah, right. Standard IPA though, probably around 6%.
Bottled pretty recently.
Yeah,
we're getting it from the source here, so I would expect nothing less. But hey, cheers, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's definitely one you could stick with for the day.
Yeah, I mean it really has this beautiful kind of, to me, like a mango passion fruity kind of flavor, but it really isn't that sweet, or also just it leans on some balance because on the back end you get a little bit of this like leafy green kind of quality. It's not overly bitter, which I like, and you know sometimes you get something that really tastes like fruit juice. This one has a little bit more balance to it. It sort of leans on a little bit more malt, and it's just delicious, right? Yeah,
it does have it's like a illusion of sweetness, so I guess it's there, but then it's a drier, more clipped finish you'd expect in like an IPA.
Yeah.
But you definitely get like almost like an orange juice, then with like some sort of like hard candy, and then it's gone. Yeah. And it's got like a clipped, crisp finish, which is nice. Nick Lane says, that looks so good. Nick, it is really good.
Yeah.
I hope you can get some. I think right now they're just distributed in New York City, maybe some different areas, but
I believe they also hit upstate and Long Island a little bit, but mostly, yes, very small distribution. Opened up at the end of 2014, so relatively new brewery, but just absolutely amazing space.
Yeah, great space. Let me see if I can. Maybe I'll do a little tour real quick, just so people can see. You might hear the voices over here. That's because we do have. They just opened at 3 and it didn't take long to fill up quite a bit.
Yeah, it's like a beer garden in the back. So
popular spot. We got a nice day here. So yeah.
Oop, and a windy day.
You're more local to Brooklyn. You're from Long Island. Tell us a little bit about the Brooklyn scene and how that's emerging.
It's really just exploded around the time that Other Half opened, but Threes is definitely part of that movement as well. In the past 3 years, it's really been such an insane explosion of so many breweries, and even in 2017, we have many new breweries opening up. A couple being the most exciting, Evil Twin opening up in Queens, and then people can't wait, Grim, hopefully by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So everybody's really excited about that one. Brooklyn is definitely exploding with so much craft beer and so many breweries. So
yeah, they're becoming the place to check out within New York City.
Yeah, definitely one of the destinations
for craft beer. If you're
in the
into,
country, I'd argue. So
yeah.
for sure.
They're we were just talking about before how kind of this area is. They might be behind some of the other more densely compacted regions.
Yes.
When it comes to like breweries per capita, but they're playing catch up quickly at a very fast pace. So don't sleep on Brooklyn, New Jersey too. They're coming strong. So we're gonna go next with the Saison here.
Yeah.
So we wanted to go with a lighter, hoppier beer, and we got something Belgian, and might be a little funky because this one was aged in a foeder. So that's what I'm expecting. And then we're gonna end with something dark. So, oh, and I did not mention this yet, but stick around to the end of the video, and we're gonna give out a special discount code that'll allow you to get $20 off your weight tap if you order, and we'll let you know the details about that, how long the code will go for, and where you can use it. But this is the original system, same deal. We're just gonna load it up, and I guess we didn't have an ABV. They just let you figure it out.
So yeah, talking about this product, it's a little bit different from the previous product, right?
Yeah, the technology is the same.
Okay.
The main differences are the size, the price point, and the design. So, weight tap being newer, definitely got a redesign, smaller footprint and whatnot. Oh yeah, give that some nice Belgian foam.
So the package that works with that one, it's 12-ounce, 16-ounce cans.
Yep,
bottles.
the original, or the weight tap, will hold up to a 12-ounce bottle, and then all the way up to a 25-ounce can. If you're doing a lot of 22-ounce bombers, 750 milliliters, or growlers like we have here for the last beer, then I definitely would recommend the original.
Okay.
It's still extremely popular, and yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Right off the bat, I'm getting some like lemon and some of that like cherry, fruity, bready, pineapple.
Yeah, bread for sure. It smells very bright and refreshing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just what I would expect. Yeah, it's not like a super acidic tart sour. It's more of like a little funky from use of the Brettanomyces yeast. It's a wild yeast, so it'll give some fruity flavors, but also with time can give you more of like a funky barnyard, wet hay. You read some interesting descriptors out there. Don't let it turn you off. It's delicious.
Yeah. The funkiness is really nice here. It has a really baseline, beautiful like earthiness, and then even leading towards a little bit of like minerality that I really very much enjoy. And yeah, speaking about the product right now, it really does promote a really beautiful head, in my opinion. It really offers us this kind of like soft, bready kind of malt quality. Like it plays with the malt very well, so you get this kind of really soft, pillowy mouthfeel with that white breadiness that's coming through.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely, just kind of introducing you to those aromas with that blast with the really tiny bubbles.
Yeah.
Kind of primes your taste buds, and then once you have all those aromas in the back of your like retronasal passageways, you really pick out the flavor a little bit better.
Yeah.
So you really get some of those nuanced aromas and flavors, which I think is, especially with beers that have been aged in wood, fermented in wood or foeders, or using a variety of different yeasts and bacteria. There's a lot going on. It's complex, and to really get the most out of it, it's important to serve it properly, whether that be in the right glassware, the right amount of fluid ounces, the right temperature, with the right head of foam. All these things are important. You don't want to serve something ice cold. It's 10% in a shaker pint. It's going to ruin the whole experience. So, what Fizzics aims to do is just present the beer in the best light. We're not saying that, you need to put it through our system to make the beer taste better because it's not good. We think the beer is awesome. We love what the craft breweries are doing today, and we just want to get it to your mouth the way that the brewer would intend. We don't want to, they put it in a keg or can, and then it leaves the brewery, and they don't know what happens, how it's treated, how it gets served. So you be your own bartender here and top it off.
Yeah. One thing I will say is that what you get with this product is a longer lasting head. When you get a standard pour, the head sort of dissipates, and you can see it already. It sort of has dissipated on my beer, but for yours, it took a while, or in general, it takes much longer for the head to dissipate. And my analogy would be to nitro beer. Really, I think this is like a nitro beer drinker's like dream.
Yeah.
Like if they love nitro, you can literally make every beer with that kind of perception, and I think it's really fun. And so, as you were saying, it doesn't necessarily make the beer "quote unquote" better, but the idea of having an option, because right now you could actually pull this out and pour it into a glass, right? So
lacing too.
so you can have it both ways. You can have half the bottle through the Fizzics system, half the bottle out of the Fizzics system, and play and see what you enjoy out of it.
And I recommend that actually. Do a side by side.
There
If
you
you're
go.
skeptical in any way, that tends to be what I do. Oops, sorry, I'm kind of blocking your face.
That's
there.
all right.
At a lot of these beer festivals that we attend, is we show people side by side pour, and seeing and tasting ends up being the believing. Why we do these videos, we love to experiment, and that's what it's all about. You can never try every beer out there in America, even if you tried today and started. So get out there and experiment. And what more fun of a way to do it than when you have a cool system to kind of be your own bartender and do as you please and experience it as a draft-like quality.
Yeah. So one of the things I will say is that you probably can answer this better. So what it does by making that small bubble kind of foam, you're getting less, I guess, probably bite and carbonation in the rest of the beer, because that's now being converted to that beautiful head, right?
Yeah. So going back to your point that you made about like the nitro, so it gives you the benefit of a nitro head.
Yes.
There's really tiny creamy bubbles. Almost looks like a Guinness draught pours foam. But on the front pour, it's a controlled rate, not really agitating any of the CO2 out of solution. So, you have the benefit of the nitro foam without the downside of turning the beer into a nitro beer, because nitrogen is not soluble in cold beer or any beer. That's why you see the cascading bubbles come up when you pour Guinness. It's just escaping right away. Yeah. So not all beer styles are made for nitro,
Absolutely.
unless you drink them really quick, because they tend to get a little thin or flat. What Fizzics aims to do is keep the beer fully carbonated and put a nice protective blanket of foam over the top, which is going to last and keep the gas from finding equilibrium with the atmosphere. So, we want to keep it carbonated to the brewer's specs. But as you said, it does take that little bit of bite off.
Yes.
If you were, because we're talking packaged beers here, so if you were to decant a beer from a bottle or can into a glass, proper pour, and then go side to side, head's going to dissipate, right? And to create that pour quality foam, you're taking that CO2 out of solution, whereas with Fizzics, you're gently pouring and then capping with foam. So that's really what we're after to do.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be exemplified pretty nicely in this last beer here.
Awesome,
You do
This
get
one I'm
some
really
really
excited
nice visuals with the darker beers, and I'm gonna do a side by side just because we talked about it.
Awesome.
Let me use one of these glasses just to show.
All right.
But also
Some
pouring
water
from pouring from growlers is a little awkward.
Yes.
And especially if they're those glass jugs. Actually, that might be
Pretty messy.
Yeah. So we're just gonna do.
We're gonna see how messy it gets trying to pour.
Already.
Already, right?
So, ideally, you want to hold it at a 45-degree angle.
And just go fast.
Boom. So we'll let that go. You can see the kind of quality foam you're getting here. You see all that foam that was formed.
Yep.
That came out of solution, so that carbonation came out, and it created a foam. You got bubbles that are big, bubbles that are small, all over the place. So we'll let gravity take its course there.
Sure.
While we pour ourselves some. So like I said, same underlying technology. We're using sound waves to convert the CO2 already in the package to really dense, ideal densely compacted bubbles. So got the pour here.
So talking about the product, so there's no CO2 cartridge or anything weird like that. It's just battery power.
Yes, and
Okay,
I didn't mention that.
Yeah.
4 AA batteries. Oh yeah, you can see right away.
Oh wow.
Look at that.
It literally looks like a Guinness or
Yeah.
like an ice cream float
It
or
looks
something like that.
appetizing.
Yeah. It's absolutely gorgeous.
So yeah,
there you go,
there's
get the
no
side by side.
CO2 cartridges to replace. There's no, proprietary parts that you have to keep buying here. You can take this thing with you anywhere. See, it's very efficient at making the foam too. It may only take like
it
a
takes
half ounce of
very
beer or
also,
less.
yeah, take that one.
So let's see if we can get a zoom in on these little differences here. Not just in the amount. Justin says, "Holy cow, those look fantastic." Cheers, Justin. Yeah, this is, I don't know how good the resolution is going to see, but this is the original pour. You can see the foam's kind of dissipated. The bubbles are...
That's really quick.
Oops,
Think about
I'm
it.
out of the frame. Yeah, the bubbles are kind of
The head's pretty much gone by now.
large
right?
and whatnot. Whereas with this one, super tight. You can almost not even make out where one bubble ends and one begins.
Yeah.
Milkshakey, so cheers. And
cheers.
this is a Schwarzbier.
Yeah,
It's a
Schwarzbier.
German black lager. Oh man. That has got a good cocoa, roasty.
Yeah. So I
nose
believe there's
on it.
coffee in there as well. So it's a
That
Schwarzbier with
explains
coffee.
it, yeah. I'm like, wow, just from the malt.
Yeah, right.
Wow. It's like a latte, man. Cappuccino.
Right? Yeah, no, that's really fun.
Yeah. Really good stuff. So, yeah, Schwarzbiers, they're known to... They have the roast, but it's a little bit dialed back as compared to like a porter, American porter, or stout.
Yeah.
And is using a lager yeast, so the yeast kind of gets out of the way and kind of lets the malt and the hops take the forefront. It should be very balanced. It's a very moderate ABV, very drinkable.
Absolutely.
Justin says, "What tips should I know about pulling a nice head on my beers?" A couple tips. When you're pouring the front pour, hold it at a 45-degree angle, like right under the tap, just like a bartender would. Because if you were to like set it down here, and on the front pour, the big drop, and without the angle, it's going to create foam on the front pour. We want to keep the CO2 in solution on the front pour and just push back when we want the foam. So minimize the foam on the front pour, and then push back. And my tip for when you push back, as soon as the foam stream hits the top of the beer, let go, and then it's pretty efficient. It makes a good, finger or two right off the bat. You play around with it with different beer styles, different bodies of beer. Sometimes react a little bit differently, so you can play around with it. But I would say be conservative because it's very efficient at making foam. It's a wet foam, which is more pleasurable to drink. Sometimes, if you're drinking from a glass that you just poured into, the foam can be a little grainy or harsh or astringent. People who don't like something really bitter, they take a sip of your beer and they get only foam and they're like, oh no, I don't like beer, I told you.
Yeah.
But if you think if you're with somebody who says they're not a beer drinker, you can always find a beer for them. There's a beer out there, especially if they're like a wine drinker.
Yeah.
Get into some Belgians, some fruited sours,
Yep.
some stuff like that. And what better way to experiment? You get a nice like fruit beer with a pink head on it, and it's wet foam. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Try it out.
But yeah, as I'm sitting here, I'm already been drinking it, and you already see that the head on that beer is completely
Yeah, this head's
by
gone,
now.
and this
Absolutely.
glass is
And this-
laced to and from.
Yes, so this is still sustaining a good amount of head. And as you were talking about it earlier, I really like the fact that you're right about the beer still pours out as regular beer, so it's not exactly a nitro beer. There is still CO2 in the beer, so you get that kind of crisp, refreshing kind of
Right.
quality that you get in CO2 without that kind of nitro kind of flabbiness, I would say.
Yeah.
But then you get that beautiful first introduction into the beer, which was like, again, that foam tasted like a latte, like an ice cream float. It really has both sides going for it, which is like a really fun strength of having this product. So
Yeah, man.
Get the one part and the other part. So it's like the best of both worlds.
You nailed it, and that is that's what it's about. And I love seeing people's faces when they try that sip the first time. And like, we've been touching our lips back and forth with this. The oils from our skin usually is a foam killer. But we're getting down to the last few gulps here, and we still got a nice ring of foam.
Yeah, I'm still sustaining a good amount.
That's keeping it fully carbonated for us, so you do not lose. The brewer set the carbonation level. We don't want to change anything the brewer did. We just want to present it, again, in the best light possible. So Justin says, are there any differences performance-wise between the original model and the Way Tap? Performance-wise, they're going to do the exact same. Slight different functionality, so the Way Tap is bottom loading. So you load from the bottom, got a stainless tube in there.
Yeah.
Whereas the newer one, or the original rather, is top loading. So you're gonna lift the top up, and there's this tube in there.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, same front pour, back pour, same 4AA battery, same sonic wave technology. So yeah, the question is, if you're thinking about buying, is do I do a lot of growlers, 22s and 750 milliliters? If so, this is the flexibility. Or is it, do I want to put it on my counter and not take up a lot of space and look great, and I majority drink single serve bottles? There's the weight tap, and this is the lower price point. This is 170, this is 130. I guess we're coming close to the end of the video here, so I'm going to give out our special promotional discount code for $20 off of a weight tap, and that code is Darwin 110.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, so you type in Darwin 110. We've got a date set until next Friday. To even use it.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're watching here, awesome. Thank you. Stuck around to the end. And you're gonna put it on your channel.
Yes, definitely.
And yeah, if you're watching on his channel as well, awesome. Check out our page as well, Fizzics Group.
Yeah.
And anybody who's on Fizzics Group on Facebook or YouTube, check out Darwin's beer reviews. He's got a ton.
Yeah.
Not just from the New York greater area.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy he's got the good setup, man.
Yeah,
People are sending him packages like, try this beer for us. It's like, you got it set up nice, man.
Yeah, thank you so much, Greg.
Yeah, cheers.
Really good time.
And thank you so much to everyone who tuned in, and check out both of our videos to come in the future. So
Awesome.
cheers, everybody.
Until next time, cheers. Later.